Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. I am on my way back to Chicago, and since I'm in the airport, I'm stuck here for a little bit, so I thought I would come in and talk to you guys for a second. Now, I saw this thing earlier about Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, and my wife and I were talking about it. I sent it over to her, and she and I are going to do a Pillow Talk episode. In case you don't know, Alicia and I, we have a podcast called Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. You can find it on Spotify or also on Apple and YouTube as well. Anyway, we were sort of discussing it, but I wanted to kind of discuss it for a second because I talked about it myself on Dr. Boyce TV. Sometimes that's what we do. As a couple, we don't always see everything eye to eye, and we have different perspectives on things. And I enjoy that actually because I think men and women need to talk to each other. I think that men can learn a lot from women, and I hope women can also learn and listen to men. I think that the biggest frustration for a man is when he's not listened to, and the biggest frustration for women is when we men don't respect women and everything that they do. And that's why I go out of my way to kind of consciously thank black women for everything that they do for us, because sometimes we all get frustrated with each other. Well, anyway, so the Will and Jada thing is really interesting to me, and I talked about it not out of a gossipy kind of perspective or framework. My goal is not to gossip about another family or another couple. It's really, and also I have connections to the Smith family. I know Will's brother Harry, and Will's brother Harry is a super smart guy, and he's a super cool dude, and I have no interest in disrespecting them at all. I don't know Jada, though. I never met Jada. I never met Will, actually. I just met Will's brother. But anyway, and it's funny, I know Chris Rock's brother too, so I guess that makes me officially like a D-lister, because I don't know the person, I just know they're brothers, right? Because literally Chris Rock's brother used to call me all the time, and I'd be like, why is this guy calling me? I don't even know this dude. But anyway, so, I think that with that whole Will and Jada thing, that's interesting. In case you didn't see, Jada comes out. Did y'all see that? Well, Jada came out and basically said, we haven't been together for 7 years, and we're really separated, and we're doing this. I think she was saying that we weren't ready to tell everybody. And and honestly, here's the first thing is, I think Jada's got a book coming out. And I think that, that this was, this secret, this drama was sort of strategically released to coincide with the release of the book. I think she's trying to sell a book partly. No disrespect to that, not to say that she's lying, but to say that it reminds me of the trade-offs that couple kind of has to make. And also the things that I like about them and the things that I kind of question a little bit. So what I like about the Smith family, though, is I like the maturity in terms of kind of saying, you know what, we don't really necessarily feel the way we used to feel about each other. I think that anybody who's judging their relationship or judging their choice has to be really careful, because you don't know what it's like to have been married since 1997. I don't know what it's like to have been married since 1997. In 1997, I was not married to anything. In 2007, I was not married to anything or anyone. I almost got married. I actually proposed to a woman on the Wendy Williams show. Y'all may not remember this, but it was a long time ago, back in '07. And she was an awesome lady. We just chose not to get married, actually, for religious reasons. She was Seventh-day Adventist, and I think that they had an issue with her marrying somebody outside the religion, which I personally honestly think is a mistake. I don't think you should let your pastor keep you away from a man that loves you. But I wasn't bitter about it. She wasn't bitter. We just, parted ways. But anyway, I think that the fact that they were married this long really says a lot in terms of their commitment to something bigger than themselves. Maybe it's a commitment to each other. It's probably partly a commitment to the kids. It's probably partly a commitment to their role in society. It's a commitment to their careers. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't judge that at all. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's stupid. I see a lot of people that say, well, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what's best for me. Me. Well, okay. Well, you keep using the word me. It's going to be just you and yourself and for the rest of your life. You're going to be lonely, isolated. You're not going to have any support. You're not going to succeed at hardly anything, because it's very hard to be successful when all your thought process is me, right? This is not an opera. You're not preparing for an opera. me, right? But some people think that way, and I don't agree with that. I think their commitment to family was honorable. I think that the fact that they that they held on as long as they did, I applaud that, and I'll tell you what, I commend anybody who tries something, even if it fails, or even if it doesn't get to where you want. The fact that you tried means a lot. And what I will tell you is that a lot of people that criticize when you don't succeed at something are people who don't try to do anything. They're people who play it safe, because they're scared to try. They're scared to fail, so they're scared to try. At least you tried, right? So don't ever feel bad about trying to start that business. Don't ever feel bad about trying to start that relationship or trying to start that project. And if you don't make it, that's okay. You are a work in progress. God is not through with you yet. You are getting better with every turn if you're committed to that. And I think people like that, I think you have to really encourage yourself, because you're going to get so many people that are going to have so much to say, right? And Will and Jada kind of feel it in a heavy way. But then again, some of it they bring on themselves, right? We know that they choose to be public. Now, let me answer a question. I see somebody says, do you think you dodged a bullet not marrying her? Oh, the woman from '07? No, I did not dodge a bullet. I don't know. So, my wife and I get a little bit of understanding of what Will and Jada probably feel, but they probably get it 10 times worse than us. But what happens is that when you are public in the black community anyway, and you talk about your relationship, you have some people that completely misinterpret the relationship. People that never met you, don't know nothing about you, don't know nothing about anything, and they'll look at like a picture and form a whole story around a picture and create a narrative that's completely out of some miserable person's imagination. And then people will run with that. My wife and I experienced that up close, and and that's life. But the truth of the matter is, I would never, ever in a million years choose to marry a shitty woman. Like I'm not that stupid. I think things through. I think about everything very carefully. I think super carefully about what I'm gonna have for dinner that day or whatever. I sure as hell I'm gonna think about where I'm gonna spend the rest of my life. I'm a very thoughtful, deep, thought-provoked kind of person. I think about everything, right? I think about this phone. I think about you. I'm thinking about what's on my laptop. So you got to be strategic, because I've always known since I was a kid that as a black man, you got to be strategic. If you're a black man and you're not strategic, you're done. If you're black and you can't be strategic, and especially as a man, and you go out in this world where they got traps for you around every corner, do you understand what I'm saying? They got traps for you around every corner, brother. You better be smart. You better be playing chess, not checkers. And I'm a poker player. I've actually won. Poker is a great game of psychology, strategy, and math. I've actually won poker tournaments with hundreds and hundreds of people. I won a tournament that had 900 people in, and you don't do that by luck. You got to be good. You have to have some luck, of course, but you have to also have a tremendous amount of skill and strategy and be able to play things out in your head. It's like chess. A lot of chess players are good at poker too. And in my whole life, I've always played chess. I don't play checkers with my life. So don't let anybody trick you into being stupid. I think we have a dumbass society that encourages us to be dumbass people, that wants us to be dumbasses and make dumbass decisions. Don't do that. Be smart, man. Come on. Like, I don't even care about people when they get mad at me and they say, well, you say your platform's for intelligent black people. You're being a snob. I'm like, no, I just want you to think. I want you to use that goddamn brain of yours. Like, I don't want black people to just because that's the thing. They trick us into being stupid to make dumb decisions, and then we feel sorry for ourselves. Well, the white man tricked it in me again. The white man, he always be tricking it in us, and they running the game on us, y'all. Well, sit down and meditate, think, process your next move, get full information before you make a decision. Don't let dumbasses make you into a dumbass, because you're not a dumbass. You're meant to be smarter. You're meant to be better than that. And I stand up to that. When somebody said that, Kwame Brown said it in particular. He said, you're a snob because you say your platform's for intelligent black people. And I said, well, don't you want to be intelligent? Why would you want to be, would you want me to make it for stupid, ignorant black people? Well, there's plenty of that. That would be called BET. BET is the platform for ignorant black people. I don't believe in that, because I think that your ability to discern your next move is the difference between peace and misery. It's the difference between happiness and sadness. It's the difference between wealth and failure. It's a difference between freedom and incarceration. So don't be stupid. So anyway, nothing good has come from that red table. I agree 100%. I think that the red table talk, this is where I would question Will and Jada. Like, if I knew them, I'd be like, what's the thought process here? I don't feel like the red table talk was good for anything except making money, and I think that's the other thing too. Sometimes we get so caught up in what other people think and trying to, be famous and known for what we do, that we just embarrass ourselves a little bit. I feel like they did that. I feel like Will and Jada in particular, to be honest with you, I don't think any child wants to hear their mother on the TV show talking about her porn addiction. I just kind of think that's something that maybe mama could have kept to herself. I don't think the kids needed to really be sitting around watching their parents talking about Jada having sex with one of their friends. I thought that was kind of weird. I don't get the feeling Will is all for it. I just saw a video where they were talking about it. He didn't seem real enthusiastic about her filming their private lives, and I think it kind of took them off a pedestal. I think that they had a lot of respect that they lost from that show, and so I will say that in that regard, I wonder how they were able to balance between their goal of being together as a family versus, trying to still be successful, trying to get attention and all that. Attention really is a drug. Money's a drug too. Jay-Z and Beyonce did it best. Keep your private life private. Yeah, I think Jay-Z and Beyonce, they've sort of maintained that mystique, that Michelle and Barack kind of disposition. And I think they did that quite well. And I have a lot of appreciation for that. And I appreciate Will and Jada too. I don't dislike any of these people, man. I think really generally the world is just different. I think that people, you have a lot of hostility online. You have people that will take anything you say, anything you do, and try to make it into something negative. I deal with that constantly from people that never met me, don't know anything about me. If they sat down and they talk to me, they see something completely different from what they'll say. But YouTube will pay you money. Like, ignorance is monetized. Ignorance is monetized. Niggerosity is monetized. Ghettoosity is monetized. So there are people that become ghetto-ass ignorant niggas on their YouTube channel every day, and they make money from it. And that's the game that's come into play. And that's why we actually created our own social media platform. I don't know if you guys know this. It's called Blaggenuf, BLAGGENUF. And we're going to actually rebrand it as B1 Nation, but still, it's just like a private space where we can connect and talk without all the chaos, because all that chaos and noise is it's a distraction for what you're trying to do. So builders can't really build in chaos. Like, you can't build, the Empire State Building in the middle of a tornado. And that's kind of what it's like trying to build in the black community, where there's so much noise, so much ridiculousness. And it reminds me of when I would teach at Syracuse University, and if somebody's in the class making noise and acting a damn fool, you put them out of class because you can't get anything done in that environment. So anyway, I'm going to answer a few more of your questions. What about the Exxon merger? I'm going to tell you, grateful. I think that Exxon is a nice company. If I was older and just trying to collect dividends, I'd buy, maybe Exxon or Chevron or something. I don't see Exxon as a company that's really built for a lot of growth, and they're kind of in a dying industry, but they are very powerful and they generate lots of cash. That company is what they call a cash cow. They're not companies that are going to make you rich, but they're companies that can keep you rich. So, if you think I should, if you think owning Exxon is a good idea, or if you're asking me that, yeah, I'd buy Exxon. This is not investing advice. I do not give investing advice. However, Exxon's nice. I think it's good, especially if you're risk averse. You don't want a lot of drama in your portfolio. Exxon can give you that. A white man told me the government got their game and I got mine. I said, okay, then. Okay. All right. Yes, information changes situations. Yes, it does. Too much sharing is not good. Yeah, I agree. Family therapy privately, absolutely 100%. Attention is the new currency. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And in fact, actually, honestly, that's another reason why I don't mind when people make horrible YouTube videos about me. Because if you understand how attention works as a commodity, attention's actually beneficial, even if it's crazy attention or weird attention. When I get more attention, even if people are talking ridiculous about me, it actually draws more people to see, like, what's this guy all about? And then they take the time to get to know me, and they're like, oh, he's actually teaching me something that's really going to help me. So I don't mind it. I think it's better than no one talking about you at all, right? So it kind of sucks sometimes when someone gets something wrong, but it's all right. You just got to be built for it. Let's see here. Can you pin that site? Yeah. Let me try to. I'm gonna try it real quick. And also, don't forget, guys, the All Black National Convention is October 22nd through 20th through the 22nd in Atlanta. So if you want to join us at the All Black National Convention, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. We can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Give me a yes if you can hear me. Somebody said they can't hear me. There it is. So I pinned it for you. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, I hope you can. All right, so let me see. I'm going to answer more of your questions. Turn up the volume, please. I don't know if I turned up the volume, but I don't know if that makes a difference. Doc, sound check. Can you guys hear me? Anyway, I can hear you now. Okay. Is it better? Since I turned the volume up? Anyway. All right. So, so with the Will and Jada thing, I think The other interesting thing about that is that, repeat the last 2 minutes. Yeah, the All Black National Convention is in Atlanta, October 20th through the 22nd. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. We really spent a whole year planning this. We spent $250,000. We have 43 experts, and we wanted to gather people specifically to solve problems in the black community. Serious people only, positive people only. If you don't believe in things like black wealth, black love, black education, and just black people being healthy and happy and loving each other, then this is not the place for you. We don't do drama. We don't do BS. We have fun. We connect. We learn. We love. We build. So if you want to join us, it's going to be in Atlanta on the on October 20th. So just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. My wife will be there, and again, 43 experts will be there that we're going to bring. But the Black Doctoral Network is going to be there too. The Black Doctoral Network is the largest organization on earth of black PhDs. Do y'all hear me? They're going to be there. They're going to be in the same building. The president, Dr. Maurice Green, is a buddy of mine, and he said, "Hey, you bring your firepower, I'll bring mine, and we're going to flip this thing on its head. We're going to make Black history." We're making Black history because there's never, in my view or in my knowledge, any gathering I can think of this many black PhDs gathered solely for the purpose of building the black community without any corporate sponsorship, without being funded by Jewish people or funded by corporations or funded by, the Democrat or Republican parties. Like, this is 100% independent. Like, literally, we can literally do whatever we want in this space. And it's no disrespect to anybody else, but this is rare because the thing you got to understand is that the person that pays the bills makes the rules. And so the reason you haven't gotten liberation, in my view, is because we've been thinking that we can get true liberation when somebody else is paying for it. Ain't nobody going to pay for that. Ain't nobody going to write that damn check. We have to write the check. We got to pay the price. So that is an element of economic maturity that's extremely important for our people to understand. A lot of us are accustomed to other people offering to pay the bills. What you got to understand is all money ain't good money. You got to think carefully about where you get your money from. Again, you know my background. I have a PhD in finance, and I thought extensively about how money shapes decisions. You look at what's happening over in the Middle East. That's all connected to money. It's all connected to money. Right? And I'm not going to go into it because I'm not going to pick a side one way or the other. I think it's tragic. It's sad. It's very scary. I hope it doesn't escalate. But at the end of the day, man, money drives the world. And we're going to have to build our wealth, control that wealth, and deploy that wealth in ways that are intelligent and strategic and encourage ourselves to build. If we do that, then we can, there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't stop. The African American community, pay attention now. The African American community is one of the richest groups of people on the planet. Did y'all know that the African American community is one of the richest groups of people on the planet? The African American community is one of the richest groups of people on the planet. Do not let people ever tell you black people are poor. Black people are not poor. That is a myth. That is a complete lie. You are wealthy. You just compare yourselves to white people. So you're like the 7-foot guy who's standing next to somebody who's 7'5", and you think you're a midget. You can't be a 7-foot midget. You cannot be 7 feet tall and still be a midget. If I were to compare the amount of the money that black people spend on BS, that's greater than the GDP of 95% of all the countries on the entire planet. So how can you have more income, more wealth, more resources than 95% of the countries on this planet, yet call yourself poor? You're not poor. So let's stop. Let's get out of that mindset. So ultimately, anyway, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. The convention is going to be amazing. I don't know a single person who hasn't gone to the convention and walked away and said that was an amazing experience. To be honest, that's the reason we kept it going, because it's not good in terms of like profitability and business models. It costs way too much. We spent $250,000. It's very, very difficult to do this when you do the kind of work that we do, because nobody funds this, nobody supports this. Even black people boycott this type of stuff. It's hard. It's really freaking hard. But we pull it off, and I love it because we're doing something different. Because I'm going to tell you, you can't convince me that I am less than our competitors. You can't convince me that a white man is better than me. You can't convince me that they can do stuff that we can't do. I don't believe that. I know I'm smarter than most people. I know that they're all, and a lot of us are. I know that we're more capable. We've gone through more. We've overcome more. And the answer's out there somewhere, and we're looking for those answers. In fact, not only are we looking for the answers, but we found a lot of the answers. We found it. We know the solution to the black wealth problem. The racial wealth gap is an easy equation to solve. It's very easy to solve. We've already solved it. We solved it 15 years ago. The racial wealth gap is the easiest thing on earth to solve. And what we realize is that the reason it's not solved is because there are people that don't want to solve it. That the people it's like you're in last place, hoping that the people in first place will put you in first place ahead of them, or will put you even with them in the race. You cannot be in last place in the race and think that the people in first place, second place, or third place are going to move you up a place. They're not going to do that. But the racial wealth gap is easy to solve. If you give me just enough time and the family implements very basic ideas like the $5 a day investing plan. That's on my website, by the way, BoyceWatkins.com. If you go to BoyceWatkins.com, it's all right there. It's totally free. I have a book about it on Amazon, but you don't even have to buy the book. You can have it for free. A family that simply does that one thing and does it for about a decade, you're not behind white people anymore. You actually have more wealth than white people. Did y'all know that? Or if you think about this, if you simply love your child as much as you love your car, meaning that you invest as much for your future in, say, the S&P 500, literally like an index, like easy to do, Victor, Oscar, VOO, or SPY, Sierra Papa Yankee, something like that. If you invested as much in something like that as you put into your car note every month, then within 10, no more than 20 years, you would have more wealth than most white people. How many of y'all knew that? Solve. Racial wealth gap gone. It's gone at that point. The financial gap is gone, but the problem is is the psychological gap still there? Because if you get all the money in the world, but you're still thinking like a poor person, then you're gonna pretty much take the money that you receive and give it all away. You're going to block every blessing. You're going to throw away every opportunity. You're going to ruin every possibility. You're going to destroy things before they get started. You're going to abort every idea before it gets born. You're going to kill everything good in your life if you can't get past that poverty mindset. Another area I wrote my dissertation on is financial psychology, and I cannot tell you how much mindset plays in the ability to accumulate wealth. It is everything. It is so deep that literally that is why we created the first ever Black financial therapy department in the Black Business School. There has never been at any university in history that I know of a department focused on Black financial therapy. Where therapists have been deployed, the best therapists on earth have been deployed to understand the psychological barriers to building Black wealth. We're getting it done, people. It's happening. It's happening. All I ask you to do is just go take a look. Just take a look. Don't cost you anything. The Black Business School, you can get started for free. We do more free stuff. We have stuff that costs money, of course, right? And it's still only a fraction of what you probably paid at some big white university. And it's difficult. It's fragile to even ask for a nickel because people think that somehow you're scamming them if you ask for a nickel. But they'll go to a big white university that doesn't even hire Black people and pay them $100,000 because there's more trust to people that have harmed you than there is trust for people that have focused their energy on supporting you. That's the crazy part that we have to deal with. So literally what I tell people is like, look, we got free stuff. Go take a look at the free stuff. And I guarantee you that the free stuff will be better than the stuff you paid for. And then once you benefit from the free stuff, we say, well, will you try something that's paid? Because the revolution isn't free. Freedom isn't free. Building isn't free. Infrastructure isn't free. Everything that we do costs millions of dollars to operate and function. And the more resources we have, the more competitive we can be. We're getting it done. You've seen this every single day. We're in there. We're making it happen. We're not just talking. We are doing. That's another interesting thing. And maybe these are the words. This is why if you ever wondered why there are some people that don't like me, it's because I'm very direct. That's why there are people that don't like me. But one thing I'm going to be very direct about is in our community, we have a big problem. We have a lot of yappers. We have a lot of rappers and yappers. And yappers are just people that just do a lot of talking, a whole lot of tweeting, a whole lot of crappy stuff on Instagram, but don't build anything, don't create anything, don't finish anything, don't develop anything, have no infrastructure whatsoever behind anything that they're doing. There's no brick and mortar, there's no follow through, there's no nothing. Because words are cheap, talk is cheap. And that's another aspect of economic immaturity. Shout out to Umar Johnson. Umar's another guy that doesn't really like me so much, but I'm gonna give him props because he said one thing that I really liked. He talked about the fact that in our community we have some people that are stuck as perpetual children. They act like kids. They sit around, they troll on the internet all day, don't say anything serious, don't do anything serious, and try to destroy things that they see serious people trying to do. So I just sort of am letting you guys know what I see, what we're dealing with, and what we're fighting against. But at the end of the day, we're gonna win because I don't lose. You know, I like when Coach Prime said, I've been a winner since I was a shorty. I just the same way. In fact, did y'all know? Actually, I don't. Y'all may not know this. My last name is actually Sanders. I was actually born Boyce Sanders. So that's another thing that I love about Coach Prime. I was a Cowboys fan. He was one of my favorite players, and actually, he and I have the same last name. So anyway, though, but shout out to Coach Prime in Colorado. I love what he's doing in Colorado, and I think that the analogy that I love with that is the same way he helped Colorado convince themselves that they can go from being losers to winners. I think that's the same thing we have to do in the Black community. All right. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. It was fun talking to you. God bless you, and I wish you all the very, very best. And Matt says Dr. Umar respects you. I hope he does. I've told Umar to call me, but Umar seems to have been upset with me since 2015. Y'all can go research that if you want to. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not here to stir up no more nonsense. I actually would love to. Anyone like that who disagrees with me, I've invited all of them to sit down and talk to me, just face to face, eye to eye, man to man. And for some reason, a lot of guys don't do that, and I don't know why. But I've actually said to Umar, Kwame Brown, and a few other people, I said, hey, why don't we sit down and talk? Just, hey, we're at the same conference. Like, send them in to talk to me. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just won't do that. Roland Martin, that's another one. Roland's been mad at me since 2012 because we disagreed with something. And where I come from, I kind of feel like, disagreements don't have to be permanent, right? You can say, look, I don't agree with you, or I didn't like what you did, but you talk it out. I think that one thing I've learned from therapists, because I hang out with a lot of therapists now, and I have a therapist that stuff will really help you. But one thing I learned from therapy is you have to have conflict resolution skills if you're going to build anything. You have to have some ability to repair when there's damage that's done, right? So I would say Roland, I'm thinking particularly Roland, Kwame, and Umar. Those are three big black men who are mad at me but have never wanted to actually sit down and talk. I would say to them, like, if I did something to hurt your feelings, I have no problem apologizing, right? I have no problem like saying, okay, let's talk about it, because I think that together we're better than when we're apart. And if you're almost 50 years old, at some point we have to set a good example, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out that way. And I think that's because in our community, we kind of say, well, if I'm mad at you, I won't deal with you no more. And one thing I've noticed that white people do when they're about that bread and about that seriousness and success and building, they'll sit down with people they don't even like in order to work together to get something bigger done. Right. And so so I can tell you, I put it on a stack of Bibles. I put it on my grandmother. If any of those people said, hey, Boyce, I want to sit down and talk to you and I want to tell you how I feel, I would say, OK, absolutely. And so it's very strange to me, like I would go to conferences. I've been to conferences with Umar and I've said, well, tell him he can come talk to me. I'd like to talk to him. And they would say, well, he don't want to talk to you. Well, why not? I don't think he's scared of me. He's bigger than me. He's very big. He's like 6'4" or something. I'm not 6'4". I wish I was. But yeah, it's like it's weird. So yeah, I think we have to work on that. I think all of us go through a lot. I think a lot of us are traumatized. A lot of us have just a tough time. Like, I don't know. Like we get to that. We get in these modes where we're like, I'm not dealing with him no more. And I don't think you have to do that. I really don't. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Let's see. I asked him once and he respects you, but yeah, he doesn't agree with you on everything. Yeah, we're not supposed to agree. I don't think smart people are supposed to ever agree on everything. I don't think that's going to happen, and maybe I disagree because I'm wrong, right? Or I can't see your perspective. So maybe I need to be the student and be quiet and learn. I learn a lot from, you talk about Umar in particular. I think he's evolved quite a bit. And I learn a lot. I love watching him speak. He's one of the best speakers I've ever seen. And I wish him the best. It's no hard feelings at all. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I don't want to talk about this stuff because I don't want it to be turned into beef. Everybody wants stuff to be beef. I'm 52. I don't want to be beefing with grown ass men. That's very childish to me. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. So the convention is October 20th through the 22nd. allblacknationalconvention.com is where you can go if you'd like to join us in Atlanta, and also Black Enough. The URL's down there. You have to answer 3 questions to get in, and make sure you answer them with a couple sentences to let us know why you're there, because we're not letting everybody in the platform space because we don't want trolls, spammers, or chaos. We want thinkers, builders, people that believe in things like black love and black progress and black education and whatever. Like, that's what we're into. We're not into stupid stuff. All right, guys. So have a good day. God bless you, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Peace.